giving a shout or resonant feedback or signal transmission or broadcasting sphere out into the atmosphere where in highest hope or in high hope or in moderate hope or in realistic hope, there's a recipient that not only is pleased to have received the message of that the expositor is espousing, but also a recipient that mm, that incline to it, incline in, well, in a most personal sense, meaning that they had a foot in the door. The recipient expected it as the other half of a missing piece of contextualization and framing. Mainly, so it's a framing problem when context gets into it. The polycrisis unravels and detangles naturally, meaning the interconnectedness that precipitates the difficulty in finding perpetual resolution. That intricacy itself, or that difficulty, is a byproduct. Well, no, not a byproduct. It could be considered a byproduct. It's why it was considered a byproduct in recent. But in another attempt that because context is necessary, because framing is necessary, given the situation as it is, the difficulty arises because there isn't exactly the framing of the situation, and it's comparing apples to cylinders here, or some other extravagant, off-topic comparison. Yet still, the framing of the situation is keyly the path to a solution. The path arises because he's able to explain, delineate, divulge, disclose his situation as it is. And it's incremental exposure, and an incremental exposure leads to more disclosure. He's more able to speak on things, and as he speaks more and more in his, repository or repertoire of content become to expand, in his associative capability aids him here by framing what is his case, beginning the review, what and how this is, beginning the review with out in into the unknown, into the local unknown. There exists a personality that is awaiting itself, that is perhaps awaiting the kick or the intuition that it should make sense. It should grab them, and they should in return gravitate towards the message. It is keen, it is tending to this one specificity that is of what he is, accepting him as such now and treating him as a three-dimensional object in mutual disclosure or dialogue. And it's that the humans themselves and the humans themselves are what they are. They exist in the situation that they exist in, and that is what their moment and their time and their experience is about. But along with these experiences, there are levels and hierarchies where there's well-being and there is not so well-being. And he will, in sense, in almost as a law, as a bias, he gravitates towards he gravitates towards certain descriptions of experiences that are that alleviate his suffering and maximize his well-being, and he continuously gravitates towards this type of experience because there's no other resort given the case. There is a valid and straightforward undisputable path or style or mode of existence, and it's well known and it's formidable in that sense. But putting the finger on what exactly this is in mutual participation, it can arise as another difficulty, along with the difficulty framing his problem. It can also arise as a difficulty his what the moment what the moment represents for the kind of creature that he is, for the kind of entity that he is, how the world frames itself. That because he's such a thing, and emphasizing such a thing is why he needs to make a certain relationship with the world. He has to factor for a certain thing because he is such a thing that he is. And in the same manner, in the same vein, in the same ability to carry on or to push things further, he seeks beyond what level of the what level of experience suffices his standards, and his standards of and values are determined by his culture, and it's in a sense loose and random, and it is a lottery that he claims the his nurture and his nature. It is that lottery that exists there. But in fair hands, that this lottery go on and autopoiesis takes over, and it becomes to effervesce and expand and translocate century after century after century, increasing in novelty and conserving novelty and building further on the previous generation's creativity. And by this rubric, by this means of progression, he he innovates, and he innovates more on his innovations, and he invents and he innovates other inventions, and he connects parts, and he connects components and systems. He unites systems that previously weren't united. There are many things considered with the way that man is, and it's the most interesting topic to linger on. Mainly so, and mainly so, and accordingly, there are no other competitors other than about the style, manner, understanding the nature of reality from this premise in the way in a way that it deserves to be understood, in a way that it is deserving the lifestyle for the higher animals that have the ability to do the type of thing that they're doing, and of such a magnitude, and is of what type of magnitude that it's allowed and permitted to occur. So many other attachments attached to the model, and it's multifaceted with different sides and or different avenues into its disclosure. But it's entangled in ambiguity of avenues and avenues and avenues, and that is the figure it is made out of. It is made out of that sensation, and what is the translation of that sensation out there in the world, and highest hoping and highly hoping rather that there is another that takes hold of this, and what exactly it means to be evaluated in another's mind, really hoping that it be evaluated in another's mind, the diagram, and being that this possibility exists, it is technological bridge one could transmit can relay their inquiry under development on their side as the recipient. We, we most would be very grateful to translate all the associating documents and work, the paper that goes along with it, and the explanatory companion that's designed for the more auditorily bent listeners and audience members. Well, then, with the well being tried, or maybe reading the cards